We got a little bit of everything in this video. We got singles, sealed, some new cards revealed, lots of stuff, but we're starting off with the Giratina VSTAR from Crown Zenith. Now this card, if you guys could check out this chart, this card is popping off right now. In the last 3 months, it went from a low of 94 up to currently around 200, 176. However, I say 200 because last solds we're seeing 199, there's a 151, 200, 199, 199, 195. This card is, I mean, if you haven't seen this card in person, very stunning, popular Pokemon. The gold star, the gold, not the gold star, the gold cards from this set, perhaps the greatest gold cards we've ever gotten. Artwork and visual wise, they're absolutely stunning. And it's not really a big surprise to me to see this happening. It was just a matter of time. They're really great. 33 copies currently available on TCG Player. If you did want to pick one up, that's what you're going to pay from a reputable seller. $193 about market. We'll do a little zoom out for the 1 year. And this is something I talk about a lot, is when they surpass old highs. So we are at a 1 year high for the Giratina VSTAR. I'm going to assume that this is an all-time high. But before this was a $75 card. We had the little alt art boom back in like May, June. Ran up to almost 140. Kind of cooled off, but this is what I like to see. You set a higher low. That shows a lot of strength. You don't want to see it retrace back to this $70, $70, $80 price point. So it set a higher low at 95, continued to run, and now it's absolutely shot up in recent times. So that's really nice to see. This is a stunning card. Definitely my favorite card from the set. I know that a lot of people are going to maybe disagree and like this card a little bit better. And just wanted a little update on this one. It's not currently moving like too much because it just had this little boom right here. You can see this is where it had the most sales, this little 3-day window, 67 items sold. But in the last 3 months, the Mewtwo, the Kamehameha Mewtwo fighting Charizard went from 50 up to 80, came back down just a little, then ran up to 90, and it's kind of came down just a smidge. They got marketed at like 91. There are more copies of this one available, 83. So last solds we're seeing 90, 92. There is a few over 100, 109, 89, 120, 112. Now, this is one of those cards where a lot of the times the big card, which in this case is the Giratina, the secondary card will follow the second most expensive. And we actually have some examples of that coming up, but I would expect this to continue to run and crack 100. It feels like it's only a matter of time. I don't know when that'll be. If you want to pick one up, you're looking at 90, so that's about market currently. Still with 83 copies, you might have to get some of these eaten up to get some more progress on this card as far as prices go. The Arceus is moving a little bit as well. This chart is a little bit messed up. Sometimes this happens on TCG Player. The last like a few days or a few weeks are a little bit messed up, but 40% growth. And these cards were kind of down for a while. There was a lot of Crown Zenith product being printed. Those Sea and Sky boxes were everywhere. I think it was really affecting the single prices. And you know what's odd is I feel like those Sea and Sky boxes, I've seen those get restocked like even a lot recently. So maybe we're pushed past that initial drop. Plus you combine with the market being really hot, it kind of just makes sense. But from a low of 57 up to 80, however, most recent we have over 100 on the Arceus. 103, then before that some 80s, 103, before that some 80s, and 90 down in the bottom on the Arceus. Once again, if you haven't seen this card in person, super stunning. This does not do it justice. The 1 year chart might work a little bit better, and it kind of does. So on this card we have not gotten back to that high. Before the previous low was 50, had the run up to about 100. So if these recent sales continue to hold, then we'll see that hit that price. But this one didn't really set a higher low. And so that's something that, this is a little bit weaker card than the Giratina because it ran up to 99, came back down to 56, and it was 56 back here. So that doesn't show a lot of strength to me in this card. This Pokemon is just not as popular. Unfortunately, Giratina is like a few leaps ahead. Although there is something to be said for the set. People want all four. So there is something there. Regardless of how popular it is. So it'll get carried along by the Giratina as well. 51 copies available. It looks like you can pick this up for 86, which would be about what they have market at. Then we talked about these cards recently as well, but just a quick little touch on these cards. This is the Glaceon and Leafeon, which, by the way, this set is stacked, honestly. And just because we got Prismatic, the English release, like a few weeks away, and then Terrastal's doing its thing, right? So that's combine that with the bull market. These cards are going to move. These cards are up 59% in the past 3 months, from a low of like 20 up to 33. Most recent sold, we have a 44 sale in here though. But before that, pretty much all in the 30s, and then another 44 back. That would be yesterday. So yeah, a few 44 sales yesterday. A lot of copies being sold. Looks like 74 available. We'll zoom out to the 1 year. Has not gotten back to that 1 year high. Previously, this was a $16 card, 16, 18. Ran up to 42. So if we can get, did set a little bit of a higher low though. So that is nice to see. That shows some strength in this card. I like to see that. Similar story with the Leafeon. This one as at about 33, 34 market. It was in the 20s, 42% growth in the past 3 months. So nice big growth. Last sold is actually 49. We're going to call that 50. Before that, 34, 36, and pretty much all in the 30s with a few 40s in there. So this one might be on its way closer to 40. 63 copies available. This one did set a higher low. It ran from a low of 18 up to a high of 43. Back down to, looks like the low was around 22. So a higher low, that shows good. Makes sense. Eeveelution's very popular. So that's nice to see. And interesting price points will be when these cards get back and surpass that previous high. That's when a lot of attention gets on the card. People, a lot of people, everyone's guilty of this. They don't buy here when it's cheap, but once it starts to get expensive, they go, oh, and they FOMO, and then people start gobbling them up. So yeah, that's pretty much what happens for the most part. This is just a random number that I probably should look at a little bit more. In the last year, 2,028 copies sold. I want to go back to the Giratina just for a second. 1,400 of the Giratina. Interesting number there. Next up, we have actually some Pokemon news from the Battle Partner set. We got a few cards revealed. We're just going to touch on these real quick, and then we're going to hop back into the cards, singles and sealed. But this is Hop's Zacian, and Hop, maybe not the most popular trainer, but heavily featured in Sword and Shield. So, and he's partnered with legendary Pokemon, so I kind of get it. But that's, artwork-wise, like this. I like everything about this. This is a fun card. Legendary, the trainer, like, we talked about how I brought up his other cards that he had, the V, and was it a VMAX or VSTAR? I can't remember. With Hop before, so that's kind of what it reminded me of, and that's pretty much what we got. So that was kind of nice to see. We also have an Iono card with the Kilowattrel. This one's just fun, colorful. I like this one as well. Not, once again, these aren't really the trainers for me that I want to see, but it's still fun, and I do like trainer and Pokemon cards together. I do think that they're fun. We'll just touch on, this is what, the normal Kilowattrel is going to look. You just got the little stamp here. So Iono's Kilowattrel, nothing crazy. I did like this card here, Hop's Snorlax, just because I like Snorlax a lot. But yeah, that's what we're going to get, the little trainer picture there. Other than that, you got his Wooloo, nothing crazy. So we haven't really seen anything too big revealed there. But I just wanted to show you guys those new cards. Just kind of squeeze it in here. I didn't think it was enough to make a dedicated video about. Then I just wanted to remind you guys, if you are new to the channel and you're not subscribed, go back, check out this video from 2 weeks ago, free giveaway. I will have it linked at the end of the video as well. Giving away Surging Sparks booster box, 151 Japanese booster box, a PSA 10, and some sleeve boosters. So 4 winners. You just have to watch, like, comment, and subscribe on that video. And I'll use a random comment picker. Pretty soon, we're getting close to 10K. Once we hit 10,000 subscribers, then I will release a video announcing the winners. So it'll be in there, and then you guys will just have to verify that it's your YouTube account, just so everything's good. And then I'll ship you out the product. So pretty simple there. I'm just trying to give back to the community. I really appreciate you guys supporting me. So just a little give back for you guys. Back to the cards. So I also wanted to touch on the Bubble Mew. Now, this one's kind of coming down a little. But I wanted to, and I have an example of something recently that did this. But in summary, the Bubble Mew, it went from $92 up to $300. Now, we did see a card do something kind of similar. It was the Charizard from 151. Now, this card is kind of coming down a little. I don't know if it's going to show on the 1 month. No, not yet. Give it another week. but it is on the decline. Now, I'm going to explain all about that. When we see this explosive growth, a lot of people, not everyone is tuned into the market, right? They're not just like sitting there watching everything. And they go, oh, I have that card. That's $300 card. And then they sell. And then copies flood the market. And it's a race to the bottom. And at some point, it stops. And it kind of looks like it's leveling out around 260. I mean, last solds, all 260, 260, 260, 250. So 250, 260. And that's pretty good considering it was $90 before. So if that's kind of where it ends up, that's solid growth. We'll do a little zoom out here. Yeah, this is pretty massive. So pre-release was 90, it went up to 130, and then it was 70, 80, 90 for a long time. Then it had to run up to 168, cooled off just for a little bit, and then ran to 300. So we're going to talk about the Charizard as an example of what to expect, possibly. Now, this is not a guarantee, but in the past month, the Charizard is up 55%. Maybe we need to zoom out a little bit more. So back here, the Charizard was 100, like one in the teens, 120. It ran up to 200 pretty quick. Then kind of the same thing. It had to cool off. There was just too much growth too fast. So it cooled off. It retraced just a little, not too bad. It went to 180. Then it kind of climbed up a little bit, stagnated, went up to 220, 218, and then came back down to the 200. So that's something that we might be able to see with the Bubble Mew, potentially. So just this could be a cooling off period for the Bubble Mew. So if you're looking at picking one up, keep an eye on this card and where it goes. It could be getting ready for another run. I mean, it could be leveling out. It could be on the decline. I mean, nobody can say for certain, but just using a recent example, with the market being hot, if it declines, I don't think it's going to run down too far. So look for a buying point, for an entry point. But the Charizard is at 200 market. One of the most recent solds was 244, so that's interesting. 240, 200, 215. There's a few in the 190s and 180s down here as well. So maybe that 200 is about accurate. If you wanted to pick one up from a reputable seller, 198 is what you're looking at on the Charizard. So maybe coming down just a little bit more on that. The 1 year, yeah, so the low, it never went below 100, which was interesting. It came really close, 102 on the Charizard. Then we had this is an interesting card from Paldea that I saw was higher up on the card list value-wise. The Mousehold is up 95% in the past 3 months. It went from $9 to $20, from $9 to $20. So if you have this card, it is now worth $20, maybe a little bit over. Only 22 copies available. Another adorable illustration rare, absolutely adorable. Last sold's 23, 19, 23, 23, 23, 32, and 20s, and there's another 33 down below. If you want to pick one up from somebody who has, I don't know exactly what these badges mean, but 32, which would be higher. So this card might be run to 30. So that'd be interesting. We'll do a little zoom out. This was a very affordable card for a long time. It was in the 12s. Looks like its low was around 9, and 1,100 copies sold in the past year on the Mousehold. Now that got me thinking about the Meryl again, just a little check-in on the Meryl. Also, the Meryl is getting close to, I mean, still got a little ways to go, but getting close to passing the Tyranitar from Paldea. Just thought that was interesting. But the Meryl, 248% growth. It looks like it might be leveling out a little. That's not too surprising. A low of 9 up to $32. That's wild. Market's actually at 33. Most recent sale, I'm going to exclude, this must be Japanese. 33, 31, 33, 32, 31. So yeah, pretty accurate there. 25 copies available. Yeah, 1 year chart looking 330%, looking disgusting from 7 to 33. That's wild. So yeah, this card might cool off at some point. We'll see. 1,300 copies sold in the past year. So this is the Tyranitar. It's getting close. I mean, it's got some more dollars to go. I mean, I get it, but it's right behind it price-wise. Tyranitar is up 41% still. It went from, in the last 3 months, 26 to 45, and it's kind of regressed a little bit, back down to 38, but it looks like it might be on the way up. 40, 44, 38, 37, 44 last solds. So yeah, I'd like to see this crack back into the 40s, just because this is a nice card. This is a great looking illustration rare. We'll take a wider look here. So this is kind of interesting. I mean, you can really see it was 17, 18, and then it had its run to 45, came back down to 28, and back up pretty much to this this high before of 45, and it's kind of come down off of that. So it really is hitting a ceiling at around $45. But yeah, it's up, down, up, like a little bit all over the place for the Tyranitar. You can pick one up, 37 from a reputable seller, which would be a tinge under market currently. Then we got to touch in on the PC ETBs again. These things are still doing really good. They got market at 182 on TCG. However, most recent sold 238 and pretty consistently in the 220s. So this chart needs to update. 230, 220, all the way down here. And then there's some 180s, but then we get back into the 200s, including a 250 sale. So PC ETBs cannot be stopped. With Paldea and the Pikachu and everything, it's, not surprising. But we'll see this growth over a 1 year period, 126%. These were $80 for months and $90 for months and months. And now we're looking at over $200 for the PC ETBs, showing their dominance in the investing space. You cannot deny where they are at. They're doing good things. Also, the booster boxes, at an interesting point, I feel like Paldea Evolved was the front runner for booster boxes. Then Twilight came in, but now we're getting to a very interesting point with these, because we are at 151 market. However, last sold, we're seeing 159. So we're going to call these 160. Now 160 is pretty much right at MSRP. So if these continue to run a little bit past 160, then we will be seeing those sell out on the Pokemon Center, because they will be cheaper. Once they sell out on the Pokemon Center, boxes usually run, then we're going to see 170, 180 fairly quickly. If those sell out, it will generate hype. Okay, that is what happens. But 128, I mean, it came back down to 130s and now it's up to the 150s. 2,800 boxes on TCG in the last year, 52% growth. The low was 91 to 160. We're going to call it 160 for now. Yes, you can pick this up cheaper currently. No, you cannot. Sorry, if you include the shipping, it's 160. 160 is the lowest. The listed median is 169. So, like I said, this Paldea is probably on the move, and the Pokemon Center, this Pokemon Center aspect is very interesting. That's going to drive these boxes. Also, I wanted to touch on a few singles from the set. The Skeledirge, which is the evolution of Fuecoco, up about 30% in the past 3 months from a low of 15. It came up to 20, came back down, and then now it's back up to around 20. They got market at 20. Most recent solds, there's a $38 sale in here, which is interesting. 18, 38, 28, 28, some 20s and 18. So sales are kind of all over the place. 113 copies available. It's $18. You can pick this up from a reputable seller. The 1 year low is 10. So 10 to 20, pretty good gains on the Skeledirge. I always thought that the starters, like, maybe they just weren't liked in the generation, but they're like undervalued. And it's just nice to see them. I mean, I feel like they should go a little bit more personally, but Fuecoco, definitely my favorite starter, the derpy little guy from the anime. Absolutely love him. He's up 34% as well, from 12 to about 16. 50 copies on TCG right now. 16, 17, 18 sales, 15, pretty accurate in that range. 1 year high, coming off, just barely off of this 1 year high at 17. Adorably helping his trainer shop. It's got the apple in his mouth. I like these cards tell a story. As they grow, they help their trainers more. All of the starters have this evolution line in Paldea Evolved. It's just nice to see. So yeah, that's nice there. I'm all about Fuecoco. Then we're going to jump over to SV Base for a minute. This is my favorite card from SV Base. This is another one that does that same thing. It tells a story from the Ralts to the Curlia to the Gardevoir. This one's up 44%. And the most recent sale, they have it $58, which would be quite a big jump. Not saying it's going to take that jump right now, but in the past 3 months, from a low of 25 up to 39.44 as the market. Last sold 58, 39, 40, 39. I always thought there's a 58 sale in here as well. I thought that this card should have been the number one card. It's like right there, about to surpass the... I can't remember the name of the trainer card. I'm so sorry. It's that artistic one. We'll pull it out. I'll pull it up in a second. Why can't I remember the name? Anyways, this card's absolutely stunning as well. This photo right here does not do it justice. On the 1 year though, we are looking, this is really nice to see as well. This was $18 was the low. It ran up to around 34, set at a higher low around 22, and has continued to run. I love SV base, and I get that, like, you can go back and watch my videos. I've said that for a while. It's not like I'm just now saying I love SV base. I love SV base. The greatest base artwork, base set that we've gotten, artwork wise. You go compare. I'm just talking art wise. You cannot. It does not compare to any. Go back to Sword and Shield base. It's trash compared to the SV base. And so it's nice to see. It took a while, but getting some respect that it deserves. And Gardevoir, definitely my favorite card from this set. So then we have, it's the Miriam right here. We'll pull this card up. I did not plan on pulling this up, but we'll take a look. Go near mint here. So the Miriam just shot up as well, but it's around 39, 40, right? 99% growth from 19 up to 40, 89 copies available. We'll zoom out here. So this was higher before, 34, it hit 35, came back down to 18. So 18 to 40, if you were buying in this period, like this bar graph's pretty big right here, you'd be doing really well for yourself. Just not a big trainer guy personally. I do appreciate, like, it looks cool. This is a nice one. She's like following with the books. So I do like this one, but Gardevoir's way better in my opinion. Then we're going to end it off with some PC ETBs, the king of investing at this point. But we got this is the Koraidon. There's two versions for SV base if you are not familiar. 55% growth from 71 up to 111. It kind of looks like it's leveling off. They got marketed at 112. Most recent sales, it's still going. It's still going, guys. 150, 135, 140, 163, 163 sales. And the reason it's going, there's only 17 available on TCG Player. If you want to pick one up, you're going to pay 148, which is about the most recent sale, but well above what they have listed at market. That market price is not accurate. Okay, with these growth numbers should look bigger, because there's just not that many available. So about 150 a PC ETB. Then we have the Miraidon, similar thing. Looks like it's leveling out, right? It goes from about 89 up to 127, 129 ish. They got marketed at 129. A few more copies available, 20. Most recent sales though, 179, 214, 200. Before that, yes, 150, 130, right? But you want to pick one up now, 220. That's a big jump, 120 to 220. So the stamped promos, obviously doing big things. People like that, the limited availability of those. So moving forward, this will be the product to secure, along with booster boxes. If it is a booster box set, it cannot be ignored. So if you're priced out of these, if this is too expensive, just wait for the new sets. Get the PC ETBs of the new sets. They're all doing well. With the one exception being Shrouded Fable, but I feel like that might just be a matter of time. I'm not saying that it's going to do the best. It's obviously going to do the worst, but the question I ask you guys is, how good is the worst investment of something? If they're all good. And I am only saying that under the context of we're in an extreme bull market right now. So that's something to think about. Also super random. I got a new monitor computer setup going on. So I do realize the webcam's in a different spot and the lighting's different. I'm going to try and dial that in, but if you guys have any feedback on that, I would appreciate that. But it's just different. It's higher, and I don't know if I like it, but I'm also using it for other things, and I like it for other things, but the webcam, I don't know. The lighting's definitely different. And one I hate, maybe I just need to wear my contacts more. I cannot stand this glare, this reflection, but it's just so convenient to throw my glasses on in the morning. But maybe I just have to sack up and wear the contacts. But yeah, before, and I just redid the lights, and I had one higher because of this monitor's higher over here. I got a secondary monitor, but then it was too high, and then I was getting a shadow down off my hat. I like wearing a hat, so anyways, you guys don't care, but that's just what I'm dealing with. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. We touched on a lot of good stuff in this video. Sealed, singles, some new cards. I thought it was a pretty solid video. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh, enter the giveaway. Just trying to say thank you to you guys. So I want everyone to get in there. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.